Didn't think this one out real well. There we go. So, well, first of all, thank you for coming in. My voice carries, so I always need to remember to shut the door. So I know you guys on the that are here, but for those who are watching online, I'm Doug Jenkins, the Membership and Events Manager here at the Findlay Hancock County Chamber. When we started putting together the year and trying to figure out what our events were going to look like, one of the things we wanted to do was make sure that everybody was getting the most out of their membership. And one of the things we talked about is, we do a lot of email communication, we make a lot of phone calls, but sometimes it helps to hear how other people are using the same membership that you're getting. So, no matter how big or small your business is, you guys all get the same benefit. But there are just different ways that members use that to their advantage. And if you learn anything like I do, a lot of times if I hear somebody, I'm sorry, I just had a negative COVID test today, so we're good to go on that. Anyway, if you learn like I do, if I can watch someone do it, or if I hear what their strategy is, or hey, here's how I do this, it helps me immensely. So we thought it would be a good idea to once a quarter bring in an active member, in this case, Steve Coming with Millstream Area Credit Union, for a few more days before he moves out west anyway. We'll talk about that. But Steve has been active in a number of different things that we do here at the Chamber, and I thought it would be great for people to hear his Chamber story and how he's been able to benefit from being a Chamber member and what it's meant to him, because certainly it expands networks, but you grow relationships, and I think it's gone real well. Now, before I have Steve come up here and I run back there and run the webinar portion of this, if you're having any issues with the audio or anything, please put it in the chat or a question window. I'll check that out when I run back there. If you have any questions for Steve, feel free to put them in the chat window or anything like that. I'll relay that. We'll do some Q&A at the end of this. Before we get into that, let's just introduce everybody who's here today, and I'll introduce who's on the call here in just a second. We'll just go around the room this way.
I'm Andrew Dirk with Modern Woodmen of America. I just joined the Chamber yesterday.
So glad to have you back with us.
Steve Wells, Hancock County Treasurer.
Thank you, Steve.
Nadine Wenger, Lincoln Valley Center.
And I'm Steve Thumming with Millstream Area Credit Union.
All right, and then on with us, I know we had Susan Treese from Findlay Brewing Company. I believe we had Celia on from Flag City Metal Brokers, or Brokers Metal Recycling. They just joined about a week or so ago, and we're going to have a ribbon cutting for them coming up here in April. So if there's anybody else online that just joined here in the last couple of minutes, I'll introduce them here. But Steve, I'm going to turn it over to you and just tell us about how you use your membership and some of the things that you've found advantages in.
Thanks, Doug. All right. Hi. Like I said, my name is Steve Thumming. I'm the lending manager at Millstream Area Credit Union. Doug asked me to talk a little bit about how I use the Chamber and the Chamber programs. I think it's important for you to know a little bit about me first and my motivation to understand why I do the things that I do and kind of like the reason behind, what drives me to do those things. So I joined the Findlay Hancock Chamber of Commerce and the Findlay Hancock Chamber Ambassadors a few years back because I wanted to use my position at the credit union and my experience as a financial professional to make a difference in our community. One of the most rewarding things that I do is to help a person to be a successful employee where they work. I originally came to Findlay. When I originally came to Findlay, I was working with a credit union that works exclusively with just a few employers here in the area. Since moving to Millstream, I'm using that same mindset to build relationships so that I can reach out to employees wherever they work, so that I can try to help them to have some of the tools that they need to be successful employees. These would be tools like reliable transportation, an account that they can use with confidence and without fees or excessive restrictions, and financial guidance to relieve some of the stressors that often affect an employee's ability to focus at work. Due to some of the events and decisions in some people's lives, some employees face a lot of extra challenges when they go to work every day. They face challenges in getting a bank account or securing financing for reliable transportation so they can get to work. They're no less valuable to you, but unless something is put in place for them, the time that you spent hiring and training them could just be wasted simply because they're not able to get to work every day, or even just to work on time. Now, I must say that most of the employers here in Findlay and the HR professionals have done an excellent job in putting up gatekeepers to keep people like me from effectively being able to reach out to you. So for those of you who have let me in, you know how a credit union can really make a difference and help in areas where no one else can, not even most banks. We can help you to get the tools in place that help you to keep your most valuable asset, your employees, reliably coming to work every day. The offerings and activities at the Chamber are some of the things that I use and that I do so that I don't have to court your gatekeepers in order to get to you. Instead, I can get face-to-face with you for a few minutes to present some information before or after a meeting or at some event. Here's the scenario to describe exactly why I think that getting in front of you is so important. Imagine that you, as the owner of a business or an HR professional, need to sit down with a newer employee to have the conversation where you're basically telling them that if they don't start getting to work on time every day, that there could be some consequences. Imagine instead that you could just dig a little bit deeper to find out why they miss work or why they're always late. What if, when they replied that their ride was late or that their friend couldn't take them to work, you could just pull out a copy of their offer letter showing their hourly rate of pay and their expected number of hours and handing it to the employee and tell them to go reach out to their credit union so that they could use it as proof of income and possibly get some reliable transportation. Giving them a positive plan of action could mean that you won't have to use your time and your resources to replace them, and because you handed them a tool to make some good changes. If they make good changes outside of work, some of those changes can make them a better employee, a better, more reliable employee at work. Well, I work at a credit union. I love credit unions, by the way. Just need you to know that. But you might be tempted to dismiss credit unions because you think they're just like little banks. Well, here's just a couple of things to consider when you're talking about credit unions being little banks. A credit union works like a co-op, okay? That means that they're owned by their account holders, their board of directors are not paid, and the sole focus of every credit union is to help people. At Millstream Area Credit Union, unless a person has caused us a loss, we will establish an account for them. Thus allowing you to set up their direct deposit and easing your payroll challenges. So we can, number one, we can help with your payroll challenges. Number two, with direct deposit, we will consider loans for people with credit scores below 500 to help them out if the loan makes sense. That's right, I said below 500. We look beyond credit scores at the actual credit history to show a person what they're doing right and what they can do to improve their situation and to save some money. So as a little bank, we can actually do more for individuals than most big banks can do. Being a credit union doesn't mean that a person has less access to the product, services, or locations than they would if they were at a big bank. In most cases, believe it or not, they actually have more access. The largest bank in the United States is Chase Bank. We have a couple of those right here in town. Chase Bank has approximately 5,000 locations across the United States, which is a lot. Wells Fargo likes to tout that they have the most access with over 5,400 locations. That's a lot. Millstream Area Credit Union is part of a shared branch network, meaning that any member of our credit union can walk into one of over 5,600 branches across the United States or access over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. So partnering with your local credit union doesn't necessarily mean that your people are having less access to the products and services that they would enjoy at a big bank. Partnering with your local credit union gives you as a leader an extra tool that you can use to help your employees actually. It helps your employees to get to work so that they can be more successful. When an employee is struggling because of financial or transportation issues, it can affect their reliability and job performance. Having your employee work with their credit union to get the tools in place to make them more reliable and more effective could reduce the number of issues you have to handle and the number of people you have to hire. As leaders, it's always our obligation to remove obstacles that prevent people from being successful and to provide the tools that promote their success. To help people, removing obstacles and providing tools is exactly what we do at Millstream Area Credit Union. Since you and your gatekeepers have done such a great job at stopping me at the front door, you're also stopping people that can help your business. I know you're trying to stop people who are coming in to waste your time, but you're also stopping people who can help you, help your employees, and help your business. So when that happens, the chamber steps in, and they provide a bunch of activities, a bunch of opportunities that you can use, since we're not getting in to see you in your office, that you can use to have access to those types of programs and to those types of services. Here are some of the programs from the Findlay Hancock Chamber of Commerce that I like to use that help me to get my business in front of others and to get into place some of the resources to help people, okay? The first one is most obvious. We're here at our Lunch and Learn today, meetings just like this one. This is where we can learn about the benefits available to each of us as members of the Chamber of Commerce. Meetings like this one help us to stay current on local events that could benefit our businesses. When we meet in person, it gives us the opportunity to meet people from other businesses, gives us an opportunity to see what they have to offer, and it also gives us an opportunity to promote our business. We can talk together, we can network together, we can promote each other's business, so we can develop some relationships, some friendships. 10 at 10, which is a small group networking. This is where you can meet and network with up to 10 local business professionals. A very effective way to reach out to some local businesses. I don't know, just a simple way to sit across the table from somebody and get to know them, get to know their business. Learn how to ask a lot of questions so that you can get a lot of information. Find out what people have to offer. Business to business speed networking. Of all the things that I take advantage of from the chamber, this is one of the most effective ones that I've been able to do to expand my circle of influence and to gain more networking partners. This is kind of like speed dating, but you get to talk to a bunch of business professionals one-on-one. It's really kind of fun. You get to find out about their offerings and find ways to improve your own business. You get to promote your own business. It's a win-win. Everybody wins at business-to-business networking. Typically, when I've gone to those, there's been anywhere from 10 to 25 individuals. You get to talk to each one of those people for 5 minutes. 5 minutes doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when you're talking about your business, you can run out of things to say. But on the other hand, you can also get a business card and you can follow up. And that's really kind of what the whole point is. Let's meet, let's find out if we need each other, then let's find a way to meet up. Fresh brewed business. I love fresh brewed business. That's always a great way to stay current with everything in our community. The speakers there are great. It's fast paced, keeps everything interesting. Usually the topics that are there are very relevant to almost any business that's out there, from nonprofits to financials to construction companies. It just everything that you would want to get involved with is at Fresh Brewed Business. But the thing that I like about Fresh Brewed Business is I get to sit at a table with 6 or 7 other people, and they can't go anywhere until the meeting's over. So I get a chance to chat with them beforehand. I get a chance to pass out my business card, and I get a chance to chat with them afterwards. So what happened? I got some familiar faces, and sometimes I get some people that want to continue talking at a future time, and we're able to connect that way. Hancock Safety Council. This might sound like a weird one. When I first started going, everyone was wondering why a guy from a credit union's there. Like, what's going to happen at a credit union outside of me getting maybe a paper cut, right? But the reason I go to this one every month when they meet in person is that I get to sit at a table with business owners, HR professionals, and managers without having to even talk to a gatekeeper. I can sit at a table with 6 to 8 other people who are all the people that I'm targeting to get to when I walk in the front door of your business. I usually give them my elevator speech, my little 15 to 35 second speech that talks about what I do. If I see anybody's interest is piqued, I might start asking them questions about their business, and we just start developing a relationship and answering each other's questions. I hand out my business cards. I always collect theirs. Do you ever notice there's almost an instinctive reaction from somebody when you dig out your business card and hand it to them? They almost feel like obligated to hand you one of theirs. Well, if I walk into your business with your business card in my hand and say, hey, I was talking to Frank over at the Hancock Safety Council yesterday, just wanted to follow up with him. Is he available? 9 times out of 10, your gatekeepers let me in. So, you know what? It's just a nice way to do it. If you don't want me in, you better tell your gatekeeper. If Steve shows up, don't let him in. I'm just kidding. Don't tell them that, because I still want to get in to talk to you. All right, legislative roundtables. This is another one that seems like it really doesn't fit in with business development, but it really kind of does. First off, when I go to the legislative roundtables, I've got professionals from other businesses that are there. So number one, I'm getting some facial and some facial recognition, passing out business cards, getting business cards, doing my little speeches and so forth. But and then I'm also hearing what their concerns are. They're talking for our local representatives and our state representatives, getting to hear, you know, what their concerns are. And most of us all have the same concerns. Hey, we're struggling. We need this. We need that. What can you do to help us out? And sometimes those resources are here. We don't need legislation to fix those things. Sometimes I might have a solution for it, or you might have a solution for it. We can help each other, even though we went to see our local representative. But when we do share our concerns with our representatives, they can carry that stuff back to their offices. And some of those things actually come back and make a difference in our communities. I've been doing that for a few years, and I've seen 2 or 3 things, like from John Cross and some of the others that have met with us, that have actually turned into pieces of legislation. I don't know if it was directly from our conversations with them, or if it was just something so common throughout the communities. But some of the things that we talked about in our meeting were things that I read about in the newspaper a year later. So those things actually, those meetings can actually make a difference. Once again, whether you're a nonprofit, whether you're a financial professional, or whether you've got some concerns about the community. And then finally, ribbon cuttings through the chamber ambassadors. If you're in the chamber, but you're not a chamber ambassador, but you do have a little time to go out and network, you do have a little time to go out and promote your business, being a chamber ambassador is one of the things that will do the most for you if you're trying to promote your business in the community. You're going to meet more business owners. You're going to get past more gatekeepers using the chamber ambassadors than just about anything else. Wouldn't you agree with that, Nadine? Nadine and I are both chamber ambassadadors, and it's just a really effective way to do it. Yeah, that red coat carries an air of importance, and sometimes it's a little conspicuous. We're in it, but it really does. It really does get your business out there. Business owners and leaders are generally at the ribbon cutting. Those are the people I want to talk to. This gives them a chance to this gives the business owners and the business leaders a chance to promote their business. And it's not just for new businesses. Just because you're not opening a new office doesn't necessarily mean you can't have a ribbon cutting. You can be celebrating a special anniversary or a special event, and we'll still do a ribbon cutting for you. We'd love to join up to do that. But since the leaders are out there, as a chamber ambassador, I get to ask them questions about their business, find out more about their business, find out what their missions are, find out more about their culture, and find out about what their needs are. I can go back to my office and think about that, come up with some ways I can help them promote their business and meet their needs. And that's also my foot in the door, so that I can get back into their business and get past their gatekeeper. So the ribbon cuttings. And there are also other resources that I haven't had that much time to get involved with, like the small business workshops. But you can see that the Chamber of Commerce and the resources they provide can really help each of us to be far more successful and effective in our community than we would be without it. So that's really all I've got. Let's go for questions or comments.
Absolutely. So, first of all, if you're on the webinar version, if you're having trouble hearing me, let me know. I can move closer to the speaker phone. But my voice, again, heavy to carry, so probably hearing me okay. I don't have any questions online. Any questions in here? And I can get the ball rolling with a couple people that always I go back into recorder mode. But Andrew, you look like you got questions.
Yeah, when you go to these events like the ribbon cuttings and basically all these programs, they sound great. Like, obviously, we're going to carry our business card and everything. How much time do you spend talking about your business with the people? Someone at your first meeting.
Right. Yeah, that's obviously not the point of that first meeting. If I'm at a ribbon cutting, I need that focus. We all want that focus to be on the business. So all I'm really doing at that point is I'm really trying to find out as much as I can about them, and getting them to show me, what's going on, taking a sincere interest in it. Like when we went over to Hope House, I've got nothing to do with Hope House, right? There's no reason I would ever have anything to do with Hope House unless I wanted to make a donation to them, because I'm just not in that demographic on any level. But when we went to the ribbon cutting a few months back, we took the tour, we did the whole walkthrough, found out a lot about Hope House and some of the fantastic things that they do. And that was pretty much it. They had my face in their mind at that point. If I felt like there was something I could have done, and there are some things that I can do to help them out a little bit, it's my job at that point to follow up. But I've got their business card, they've got mine. So, and there are other things too. I always try to keep the focus on them during that first meeting. Sometimes at the business-to-business networking, generally I'll let the other person go first when it comes to presenting their business. We have 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes, right, Doug?
Yeah,
5 minutes. It's split in half. Yeah. So in 2.5 minutes, that person may not be done with their spiel. I can get through like my spiel in 30 seconds pretty fast. So I'll just say, you know what, continue. I'm really interested in what you have to say. Generally, I am. And let's just follow it up. And then I'll follow up with you later. I want to talk to you more about what you do. And then when I go back, I continue that conversation. I still want to know more about what they do. Mm-hmm. It's not about me showing up and shoving my business in their face. It's about me finding out about the business and finding out where I can help.
Yeah, I think one thing that our industry, the finance industry in general, they don't teach people how to network. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, go to this event and push your business as hard as you can. And that's not the point. We're supposed to be there to start the relationship, build the relationship. So that's one thing I just see financial advisors, others make is like, hey, let's do business. Like, hey, I don't know you yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's the business networking. You'll get a couple of financial advisors that'll be hitting you up for a sale on the spot. Mm-hmm. That's not the point, but go ahead. See what you can do.
Yeah.
Give it to me. You got 5 minutes, and I'll give you my 2.5 if you'd like. But
I try to keep my mouth shut as much as I possibly can. So
okay. My foster mom was always said, "There's a reason God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You need to shut up, listen more." So, yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
But, and it's all, and once again, as professionals, I'm starting to preach just like I do to the guys that work with me. Our most important tool, especially as financial professionals, is questions. So maybe if we learn how to effectively ask questions, we'll be far more effective in our jobs. And me telling you about my business should only take me about 30 seconds until I find something that you really need. Then I might have a presentation. I completely agree. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to get closer to the microphone with what Emily told me. So I'll run up here, say a question, and then run back. It's a well-oiled machine. So Emily asked, have there been community service opportunities for you through the chamber?
Good question, Emily. I appreciate that. Yes, there are a lot of community service opportunities that pop up through the chamber. Generally through the chamber ambassadors, a lot of those will pop up, and we'll get involved with those. We've done everything from some volunteer work over at the city mission. We've worked with the Habitat for Humanity. Those are some of the more physical ones. We've also done some volunteer time with the Salvation Army. More recently, we've been writing letters to kids and that type of thing. So yeah, there's opportunities there as well. Once I have to say, you're going to make some good friendships in there, some good relationships. So those are more of a relationship building type of thing. It'll be really good for you to get involved with those. But yeah, the more community service activities that you can get involved in, the better off you are. I've always said that community service is the rent you pay for being blessed, and that's what we have to do. We just have to continue paying that rent because we're being blessed here. We've got a great community and things are good. Things are good. So.
Another question.
Question?
I always have questions.
Okay.
You know, I follow up with questions. So one of the things when we're talking to members is everybody's busy. And maybe you could talk a little bit about how when you're in kind of a busier month or a busier season, some of the things that you prioritize over others, because I think a lot of times it feels like there's a ton of information we're drinking from a fire hose. If there's like one or two tips that you had for what you do, either from a chamber standpoint or whatever, to maximize your benefits, even when you can't really even get out of the office.
Yeah. But first off, it's for me, it's always a matter of planning. If I don't plan to either attend events or do that type of thing, it just isn't going to happen. If I just say, well, if I'm not busy that day, I'll go to that one. But it doesn't usually work out. So I actually have to plan to be there. I have to block out the time, and usually I have to block out time ahead of time so that I can get out of the office. But I don't get stuck with some issue that needs to be handled before I leave. But yeah, we do have a lot of chamber ambassadors who are not able to get out into the communities right now, just simply because the positions that they have put them they can't be. Some of them are in healthcare, so they shouldn't be out there mingling and doing that type of thing. But they pick up some other types of opportunities. One of the things that we like to do is we like to reach out to our fellow chamber members, the people who've joined the chamber, and just touch base with them to remind them, who we are, what the chamber stands for, that type of thing. Sometimes we do that by email. Sometimes we do it by phone call. Sometimes we do it by just dropping in and visiting in person. Those types of interactions turn out to be some pretty rewarding interactions as well. You get to mingle with people on a little bit deeper level than if you're just trying to sell them something or that type of thing. You really are just trying to befriend them to a degree. I don't know the word to look for because it's a business friendship. So, but you're also trying to let them know about the resources that are available to them through the chamber. And then a lot of times those conversations oftentimes will go back to what you do, and you'll be able to draw them back in. So.
I don't see any other questions from the online audience. Any other questions? In person. We're still learning the ins and outs of the hybrid events and everything. Like, for instance, me running back and forth is a little awkward, but we'll live with it. Steve, thank you. That couldn't have been. I know, obviously, we love having commercials for the chamber like that and testimonials for the chamber like that. But my primary idea is for people just to learn how people are using their chamber memberships. This is the first time we've done this, so I appreciate you being a guinea pig. Tell us about you. You're heading out west now.
Yeah.
If you can talk about that a little bit.
All right. Yeah, I've been here in Findlay since 2015. Really love the town. It was an unexpected move for us. I came here through a job. and everything just fell into place for us to come here. And this last year, we've had a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities that came into our lives, but not from Findlay. So I'm originally from out west, and just recently some opportunities popped up that are drawing us back home. So we're going to be moving back home. We just met with the realtor on Friday. I got photographs on the house on Monday. The house went on the market yesterday, had 9 viewings and 5 offers. So this is what's going on in Findlay right now. People want to be here. If these needs and opportunities didn't exist for me outside of Findlay, I would probably be here for a good long while to come. I love this town. It felt like home when we first rode into town on Labor Day in 2015, and when we closed on our home here the day before Thanksgiving in 2015, and it still feels like home. It's going to feel like we're leaving home when we go back home. So
Where were you originally from?
well, I was born and raised in Colorado, but couldn't handle the snow, so I moved down to Arizona. And we're returning down to Sierra Vista, just outside of Fort Huachuca down there.
I hope everything goes well for you.
It'll be good. It's going to be a nice transition. Family needs us.
An hour.
I thought when Steve told me he was leaving, and he was like, "Do you still want me to do it?" I'm like, "Yes, this will be our last chance to share your experience at the chamber." So absolutely, please still do this for us. So we appreciate your time today, and I appreciate everybody coming out. We're going to continue to do these kind of like this style of Lunch and Learn on a quarterly basis. We have different topics each month at Small Business Workshop and Lunch and Learn. Last year, I've only been here for about 2 years now, so I'm just basing it off my experience. Generally, we had been doing Small Business Workshops and Lunch and Learns about once a quarter. This year, we're doing them all once a month on a variety of different topics. But about once a quarter, we just kind of want to go over how you can maximize your membership, how you can go on your online profile and update that, make sure you're getting the biggest benefits out of that. Also, it helps me because that fills out 4 months of the year of planning, because there's a lot. So like next month we have securing your business for severe weather, just in case what you need to have in place. Since we're now getting into the spring and severe weather can be an issue, and certainly in Findlay, we've had our fair share of flooding and high winds. But the flooding seems to be on the way down, so I like that. And if we can maybe not have a derecho ever again, that would be great.
Right.
Because that was Steve back there, So that's an upcoming topic. I know in May we have a speaker going to be talking to us, I think at one of the Small Business Workshops, about how to land government contracts and different areas that the government needs services in. It's not all necessarily building highways and supplying the military. There's just so much out there that they bid out to small companies. So we definitely want to go over that. That was a popular topic last year and certainly going to continue to grow. So just check the website. If you have any questions on events, you can see the breakdown there, or give me a call, give me an email. I'll get in touch with you. Thank you guys for coming out today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you online for the online people as well. Yeah, I told you guys more than 10 minutes, Steve.
How long was that?
Oh,